Radiant team ban.
Alright, welcome back everyone.
Team pick.
If you hear the announcer counting a little fast, it's because we're on 2x speed, because we're casting through a replay. We've got Digital Chaos going up against Infamous. We're in Game 3 of the Losers Bracket, Round 3. And winner goes on to Losers Bracket Finals. Loser, unfortunately, their Dota 2 Canada Cup run is over. But we saw Digital Chaos completely dominate Game 1. Very one-sided affair. Game 2 was a little bit closer, but still pretty much in favor of Infamous. In Game 3, we can only hope that it's going to live up to those same kind of standards, as maybe both teams are going to put on as great of a performance as they did in their respective winning games.
5 seconds remaining.
And give us a great show for this final game between Digital Chaos and Infamous. Once again, guys, I'm Niz. Thanks so much for joining me tonight to be here to enjoy all the games with me. As we unfortunately we missed them. We didn't get to cast them last night, but we've got the replays to cast from, so we're going to try to enjoy it as much as we can here. I have not spoiled the game. I have absolutely no idea who wins this. I have no idea anything about it. So I'm looking forward to find out who's going to win this game and who's going to keep going on their run in the Dota 2 Canada Cup. But without further ado, let's get into talking about the draft, as we've got Digital Chaos banning out that Bounty Hunter, saying, no deal, we're not giving you that anymore, Z-Talk. We're going to ban it out. They also ban out the Lone Druid and now the Night Stalker. Infamous, they said, we're not giving you the Chen or the Void, because you've shown us how effective you are at playing both those heroes. So they're going to ban them out. They're also going to ban out the Oracle. Digital Chaos also just banned out the Vipers. We wait for Infamous's 4th ban here.
Reserve time.
Because it's going to be an Enchantress. So we actually saw the Enchantress getting banned out the last 2 games by Digital Chaos in the first round, but this time makes it through to the second round of bans, but still once again gets removed. So no Enchantress in this series. But let's talk about some of the picks. We got the Earth Spirit and the Death Prophet picked up by Digital Chaos. We saw the Earth Spirit do some pretty good things for Digital Chaos last game in the early game, but just really didn't work out for them going forward. As it was a little bit of a weird game. There was a lot of kills coming out, and that definitely favored Infamous and the Trackle on the Bounty Hunter, but no Bounty Hunter on the map this time. So we'll see how effective that Earth Spirit can be, and maybe Digital Chaos will look to be a little bit more stable in the mid game. As for Infamous, they've once again picked up that Nature's Prophet, picked up the Dazzle. These are 2 heroes that they ran last game, as they had Stinger on that Nature's Prophet in the off lane, and Excel, which frankly, I don't think he really had a great performance on the Dazzle. His play was kind of it was nothing special, you know, but he'll look to rebound. We have seen him make some great plays on Dazzle in the past, so we'll see if he's able to rebound back this game. But we're going to get a Puck on Infamous. That should be exciting, as it's always exciting watching a Puck, whether it's just kind of run around zapping people with the Dagon or $1 million Dream Coils. It's always interesting to watch the little fairy dragon. But we're going to have that on the side of Infamous, and Vengeful Spirit's going to be the pick for Digital Chaos. So we're probably having the support duo already completed there by Digital Chaos. I don't think they're going to play the Vengeful Spirit as the core of this game. As Ogre Magi is going to be the pick for Infamous, and Anti-Mage already getting picked up by Digital Chaos. Huh. That's a bold pick, that Anti-Mage.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
That is a really bold pick.
10 seconds remaining.
Wow.
5 seconds remaining.
So right now, Infamous is showing a pretty aggressive-oriented lineup.
Team pick.
And Digital Chaos just picked Anti-Mage in it, and oh my goodness. Final bans, we've got Darkseer and Lycan, but Terrorblade is the pick. Terrorblade is the pick for Infamous, as my cat is running around like crazy.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know what the hell she's doing.
5 seconds remaining.
But she's freaking out. She just like ran by, jumped up on the desk, ran by the mic, and I hope that wasn't too loud for you guys. I don't think it was, because she actually moved in behind the mic, so it shouldn't really pick up too much sound in that direction, but I think she settled down. I don't know. Tidehunter is going to be the pick for Digital Chaos. Yes! I was so excited when Brax got to play it the other night, and now we're going to see it again. It's going to be an offlane Tidehunter. The watermelon is back. I love it. I absolutely love it. Wow, this is this is really interesting because now Infamous have this aggressive oriented lineup. They still have the potential to go late with the Terrorblade, but Terrorblade is he's considered one of those super hard carries, but he doesn't have to go super late into the game. As once again, I'm going to tab out. I'm going to switch the screens just so I can reduce it down to 1x speed without showing you guys the bar at the bottom indicating how long the game is going to be. And I've placed my hand in front of it so I can't see it either. But let's introduce the teams and the players, as I'll get into talking a little bit more about why that Watermelon, why the Tidehunter is such a big pick for them. But we've got Z-Talk playing the Dazzle. Stinger, once again, going to be on the Nature's Prophet. Greedy on that Terrorblade. Oh boy. We've got Excel on the Ogre Magi, because he's going to be playing not Z-Talk this time around. And we've got Kotaro is going to be playing the Puck. As for our dire side, it's Bulba playing the Tidehunter. We've got Aoi playing the Earth Spirit once again. House is going to be on the Death Prophet. Buryu is going to be on the Vengeful Spirit. And last but not least, we got Yawar playing the Anti-Mage. But let's go back to talking about, first of all, about the Terrorblade and the fact that a lot of people consider him a really strong late game carry, but he's strong at all points in the game. His laning phase is actually pretty strong. His mid game is really, really strong if you build him kind of focused on that, which is maybe what we're going to see, because Infamous's lineup is very, very aggressive, and they may look to dominate the game in the early stages and kind of in that mid game. But given that we know that about Infamous's lineup and the fact that they're going to be so strong in the mid game, that is why this Tidehunter is such a big pick. Tidehunter throwing in a Ravage, whether it's an engaging kind of initiation style Ravage or a counter engage, which is probably what we're going to see more of from this game from Bulba, is so incredible for them. Because you've got this huge mid-game oriented lineup, and all of a sudden if a Tidehunter blinks in, gets a huge Ravage counter engage, that's huge for them. But we may have our first blood already. A Stinger's in trouble in the top lane, but he will be able to get that last attack off that he needed, and he brings down Buryu first. So Yawar, yes, he gets the kill on the Stinger, but Stinger was able to get that first blood first. So Infamous get on the board, but so do Digital Chaos. Stinger's respawn coming up into the top lane. Let's take a quick look at our lanes. We've got the Nature's Prophet and the Dazzle going up against this Anti-Mage and Earth Spirit, but also Vengeful Spirit, as the two spirits are going to be up there. Mid lane's going to be the Death Prophet going up against the Puck, and in the bottom lane we're going to have the Ogre Magi and the Terrorblade going up against the Tidehunter, which is going to be interesting because the Tidehunter should be able to kind of man up on those and play a little bit more aggressive. But Aoi taking some big right-click damage here. Will Stinger be able to get enough auto attacks off? The last one's in the air, but it won't be enough. So they're only going to drop Aoi down to 30 HP, and will he deny himself to the creeps? He will. So he's not going to lose any gold there, as he still had the reliable gold from the kill, so he bought down and ended up losing no gold, but taking the quick trip back to the fountain, which gives him full HP and full mana, and he starts making a rotation down towards the bottom lane instead. Maybe help create a little bit of space for Bulba, who's lost a little bit of HP here.
A gift from the goddess.
As, certainly if Greedy kind of steps away from the creep wave, they can zone out this Tidehunter pretty effectively. But if it's just the Ogre Magi, Bulba should be able to man up on him a little bit. Either way, he shouldn't be... he should be able to keep getting XP in this bottom lane, which is very, very important for the Tidehunter early on. Kind of been keeping tabs on the top lane. Let's take a look at the mid lane, as this has been pretty one-sided. Kotaro is at 13 and 7 on this Puck, as he's actually going to jaunt all the way over the mid, as he's gone kind of aggressive here. But now he'll come back down. But House is down at 4 and 3 CS now. It's 5 and 3 as he gets one more.
Puck out.
Oh, this is crazy. This is so close. Kotaro and House, as Kotaro will try to bottle himself up, but House is going to win on out there. There was some very, very slight plays there. We actually had the phase shift getting forced out there before the Crypt Swarm came out. But Kotaro going for a little bit of a crazy play there, jumping over that creep wave in the mid, and then I don't know. I think it was just a little bit too risky. He's sitting at 15 and 7 compared to that 5 and I think it was 5 and 3 when I pointed it out. CS, and he was definitely dominating the lane. There's really no reason for him to go for a risky play there, but he went for it and got punished. And now he's going to go down again as Owie is there. And this lane that was pretty one-sided and pretty much favoring the puck pretty heavily has now kind of gone right back in favor of the Death Prophet. You know, that's the risk that you take when you try and you're winning the lane. You say, you know what? I think I can kill this guy, and certainly if you get a kill on him, that's going to catapult you further and further ahead. But if you don't, and it costs you a lot more HP, or it even costs you your life, then all of a sudden you've brought that other hero back in the game. And then a rotation like that from a support, and if you go down, now all of a sudden you've gone from completely winning your lane to now in a situation where you're pretty much behind now, because we've got a level 6 Death Prophet and only a level 5 puck. Full level behind. So yeah, the CS advantage is still in favor of the puck by 6 CS. But the XP is definitely in favor of the Death Prophet. And not too sure on the gold here, but it looks like it is once again in favor of the Death Prophet. As House going to keep going forward onto Kataro, as now he's just able to man up and really force back this puck. And without Dream Coil available, Kataro doesn't really have much to retaliate here, as he's going to actually jaunt back on that orb. My goodness, that was a risky play, but he does still survive. Meanwhile, we take a look at this Tidehunter in the bottom lane. He's up at 6 CS right now. This Bulba is level 4.5. We can't really compare that to Stinger in the top lane, who's at 17 and 9, and also pretty much level 4.5, because he's got Z-Talk with him. It's a duo off lane, so you expect him to get more. Anyways, this is a 2v2 lane, but Yawar, it's kind of hurting his CS, as he's down at 12 and 2, so he's quite a bit behind the opposing team's hard carry. 12 and 2 on the anti-mage versus 35 and 22, excuse me. So huge advantage there going the way of Infamous. But look at this, Kataro still hasn't hit level 6. House about to hit level 7. As honestly, I think if they were able to stabilize the mid lane and keep that puck kind of winning that lane, Infamous would be looking so good right now. They're definitely winning in the top lane. They're definitely winning in the bottom lane. And they were winning in the mid lane. But how are two things going to happen? How is Infamous going to bounce back with their puck and get the puck back in the game? Obviously with level 6 now, they've got the opportunity for puck to roam around, get a gank or two with the Dream Coil. How are they going to do that? But more importantly, how is Digital Chaos going to come back from losing some of these lanes so hard? Yeah, you know, you've got your anti-mage behind and he's great at farming. But he's half the CS of this Terrorblade. And because it's Terrorblade, he's got the potential to push down towers early on, so you could find yourself losing some towers. You do have the Death Prophet, which also does that. His House going to come in from the river. He's going to get stunned up, but he's still able to get that Siphon Soul off. As now Stinger has come in to try and help out his teammates, but they've already lost the Ogre. And will they lose Stinger? Doesn't look like it. Sprout's going to allow him to get away, as Greedy's also going to be able to get away. As Digital Chaos rotated a lot of heroes down here, but it did work out for them.
Come.
Meanwhile, this has created a little bit of space in the mid lane for Kataro to get a little bit of solo XP, but also to get a little bit of CS. Unfortunately, misses one there on the catapult.
Puck out.
Look at that, the Band of Elven skin just getting picked up by Yawar. He's already realized, okay, I'm behind. I'm quite a bit behind in this game. I need to pick up something else besides just going straight for the Battle Fury after boots. So he's going to go for Treads and then into Battle Fury.
Are you even trying?
So adapting his regular skill build. based on the state of the game here. Stinger's going to get engaged on, and he tries to TP out, but there's that Ravage coming up from Bulba. TP in, Ravage, and they get a kill on that Nature's Prophet. Greedy and Excel are nearby, but not going to really look to retaliate, and they shouldn't, because Buryu and House are smoked up, and they're coming in, and they're coming in quick, as they're going to stun up Greedy, as the Terror Blade's going to go down, as DC start making some great rotations. And this is absolutely how they get themselves back in the game, as Excel's going to get a stun off onto Bulba, but there's really going to be no potential for a follow-up there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
House has come back to the mid lane, where he's going to try and prevent this push coming out from Kentaro and Stinger, as they've put a beating on this tier 1 tower, because it's down to 180 HP, 161 now. They're not going to drop it down into deny range.
Radiant's top
of course,
tower
deny range
is under
always
attack.
10% of a structure's or of a tower's TP, or of a tower's HP. In this case, it would be 130. Of course, that changes as you go back to tier 2s. It's 160 instead. Bottom tier 1 getting pushed here, and Bulba's not going to be able to come up and deny this, so it should be a tower for the Radiant. Greedy doesn't actually get the last hit there, but it actually ends up being more gold going the way of Infamous. Bulba's here. He's going to get a TP in from Buryu, as they're going to try to charge forward here. They don't have Ravage available for another 52 seconds, so now Infamous just turns around and say, okay, we'll kill you, as they kill off Bulba there. And there's really no more backup besides just Buryu there, so they have no way of keeping their Tidehunter alive, as Kentaro, he has to jaunt away, but he's not able to get up onto the high ground, and now he's sandwiched in the river, as Buryu and House getting the kill there. But the other heroes on Infamous, they keep pushing in the bottom lane. They're going to get a bottom tier 2.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Once again, this is Yawar left pretty much unchecked, farming up in the top lane, but he is so far behind. Just has his treads, just has his ring of health, and he's a long way out from completing that Battle Fury. And it's nowhere near the timing that we saw last game from Kentaro on the Animage that he played. But this is a very different game, and I really don't know. I really don't know where it's going to go from here. Now he just TPs to the mid lane to quickly refresh the bottle of House there. Of course, there's basically how that works is there's a lingering effect from the fountain, as we're going to actually have a smoke here. I might actually not be able to talk about that. It's going to be a difficult gank if they choose to go on the puck. They may just say, okay, well, we got this Observer ward up. We're going to go for the mid tier 1. And it doesn't look like we're going to get a kill here. They will actually be able to stun up the puck. They won't get a silence off, as he's going to phase shift it, but they're not going to need it, as the puck goes down anyways. But even Yawar rotating in here for this. But basically how that works is there's a lingering buff effect from the fountain on your hero, and basically you can TP to the mid lane, and if your mid laner gives you either drops on the ground or gives you their bottle, because you have that lingering effect from the fountain, it immediately refills the bottle. So you can basically TP to the mid lane and do that trick with the bottle to refill your teammate's bottle without actually having them have to bottle Crow.
Seeds of fortune.
Frankly, it's kind of one of those things that I think should probably be fixed, but it's in the game and it's there to stay, I think. Z-Talk's going to go down. His House going to take some damage here, but there's that Ravage once again, as Excel and Greedy are now going to be in trouble. As Excel is going to go down, but Stinger and Greedy may have actually found a kill, as they're going to drop a few heroes here, and they're going to keep going, as they're going to drop House as well, as Greedy will just barely survive. Taru will toss his orb up, and he'll immediately cut off Bulba. There's that Dream Coil as the Tidehunter goes down in Digital Chaos. They went for an aggressive play there, but they got punished, and they got punished in a big way, losing 4 heroes there to Infamous. Wow.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But Yawar keeps farming.
Tower is under attack.
He's about halfway to his
Dire's
Battle Fury.
structures are fortified.
Digital Chaos will lose another
Dire's
tower as the
top
top tier
tower
1
has
goes
fallen.
down. Switch over to our last hit, or to our net worth and see where we stand. We've got Greedy sitting at 6.6k. Then it's going to be House at 5.6. Oops, I clicked on the wrong here. There we go. We got House at 5.6. Then we got Stinger at 5.3k. Then it's Yawar, although he's pretty far down the list. Then we typically see Animage, but he'll bounce back, and he'll probably bounce back very, very quickly, as he's at 5.2k right now. As we've got Infamous actually going for Roche here. And once again, we've got basically Digital Chaos completely in the dark. They don't know what's going on here, although they might have an idea as Aui's hanging around. He's actually scouted by this Infamous Observer Ward. As they're actually going to go and engage on the Earth Spirit, as Aui's going to try to TP out, but there he gets stunned up by Excel. So not only does the Roche go the way of Infamous, not only do they get the Aegis, they also get a kill here, and now DC's still going to try to come in and contest. They've got the Exorcism popped, and they're looking mighty scary right now. They don't have Ravage up for another 12 seconds.
Radiant's top tower.
And they're going to lose Bulba before he's able to get that off cooldown. So he's going to go down. Buryu's going to go down. It is completely falling apart here for Digital Chaos as they lose House as well. As Infamous have almost even up the kill totals at 10 to 11. As now they've got an Aegis up on their Terror Blade, and man, they're starting to look scary. But this is the moment in the game where Infamous is going to be so strong. And certainly they've got the ability to keep the momentum going and keep going a little bit later on into the game. But mid-game they are going to look so strong. And Yawar still doesn't have that Battle Fury completed. And like we said before, Battle Fury doesn't mean that you're ready to fight. It just means that you're able to farm faster. And you're able to get your next items, your fighting items, sooner. This is a 15-minute, almost 16-minute Battle Fury completed by Yawar. And his team's already lost to Tier 3.
Radiant's top tower is under
Looks
attack.
like Infamous will be able to back away from this bottom lane, as we won't have any further play coming out here. I'm just going to have to mute my mic for just a second here.
Regeneration.
I apologize for that, but we're back, guys. As we've been kind of watching Yawar farm there, as he's actually moved up to second in terms of net worth as he completed that Battle Fury and started to get his farm on. But it's going to be a little while before he's going to have enough gold to really contest and really fight in these fights. But Infamous, I don't want to say they're on the clock because they do have a Terror Blade. They are going to look still strong going later on into the game, but they definitely have an advantage here in the game where they've got some opportunities. Now, we saw that opportunity in the bottom get created because there was Roche. Digital Chaos came in, they tried to force a fight, despite the fact that they had lost their Ogre, despite the fact that they were fighting into an Aegis, they still went for it, and they lost their Tidehunter before he was able to get a Ravage off because it was still on cooldown by about 8 seconds, I think, by the time he died. So, if Bulba's able to get that Ravage off, the fights could look very, very different. So don't kind of read into that last fight and think Infamous is very much in control of this game, because I mean they are in a good spot right now, but Digital Chaos with a Ravage could look very, very different in a team fight, and that helps the Death Prophet better position herself, better basically use her skills and also buys her time for exorcism. We're going to see a smoke here from Bulba, Buryu, and House. As they're going to wrap in behind the infamous heroes that are pushing in the bottom lane. They found Stinger. They're going to focus him down. Exorcism pop. They will find the kill. Yawar is even here as well, as Excel's hiding in the trees. Meanwhile, Greedy is up attacking the racks, and he's almost got the melee racks. In fact, they will fall. Shallow Grave going to keep him alive, and then he's going to get a Sunder off as he's going to swap HP with House. As now we're going to lose Z-Talk, we're going to lose Greedy, as he does have the Aegis, so he'll be back up in just a minute, but there's no way that he's getting out of here. As Yawar's kind of lost some HP there, but we will have him still live, and Greedy's going to go down. As House actually getting a triple kill there. They did lose the melee racks, so that's one thing that was definitely advantageous for Infamous's push there, but that's a pretty big gold swing. 2,900 gold going the way of Digital Chaos. It's like I said, if you can't just read into that one fight and think that Infamous is very much in control of these team fights, because there was a lot of stuff that just didn't work out for Digital Chaos leading into that fight. And this time around, I think you almost think of it the opposite. That was a pretty one-sided fight in favor of Digital Chaos, but there was two things that happened. One, first of all, they had the Ravage. That was fantastic for them. But actually, I guess three things. Two, Digital Chaos made that great smoke play and wrapped around from behind, so they had a great initiation and trapped Infamous. So that gives them a huge advantage in that fight. As Owie in trouble in the top lane, I think he's going to go down here. So he's going to get bursted down. But so they had that nice wraparound, so that gave them a huge advantage in the engagement there for Digital Chaos. But three, they lost their racks, and Infamous kind of, they were split. They had some heroes down here in the bottom portion of the fight that were kind of getting engaged on because of that wraparound. But while that was going on, they also had heroes attacking the racks. So they valued that racks higher than valuing entirely trying to win the team fight. So it's not, once again, it's not as one-sided as that fight may have appeared. But we may have another one here right now, as Infamous continuing trying to push. They're really trying to take control of this mid-game. They're really trying to push Digital Chaos up against a wall and make them try to make, force them to make some plays here. They're also playing into the fact that this Ravage is still on cooldown. We've got another 9 seconds. And this is the one downside to a Tidehunter. Ravage, and your ability to play around Ravage is so gigantic. Same thing with Black Hole. It's going to be up, and here we go. They're going to engage with the Ravage. Greedy, Z-Talk, and Stinger all getting stunned up as Greedy's about to go down. Where's the Shallow Grave? It's not there, as he is silenced, and Greedy's just going to go down. Now, Buryu. So he's going to take out as Kataro jumps in, gets a double. Is Bulba's going to get spurted out? Is this where we got heroes on the wrong side? We got heroes all over the place, but Stinger's going to go down as Bulba's going to start charging forward. They're going to go after Excel. Yawar's here smacking him, burning away all that mana. As Excel, he's going to try and juke around the trees, but Yawar's not buying it, and Excel will go down. Bottom lane, the creeps have managed to take the range racks, and while that push was happening, the tier 3 did go down. So Infamous, once again, did get a little bit of progress towards kind of getting some more important structures. But they lose that fight. But it was, once again, this is a Ravage. You know, so now we've got a point in the game where we've got 85 seconds without a Ravage. So it's 85 seconds that Infamous are now able to really take control of the map once again. Will they keep smashing their face up against Digital Chaos's base and keep breaking down structures? Not sure yet. But that last fight has actually allowed Yawar to move out to number 1 in terms of our net worth. So he's just past Greedy. But only by about 300. Now he's going to run into Greedy and Kataro as he passes by the top rune. And he's actually going to go down as Greedy's going to get the kill there, and now it flops back as it's a 100 net worth lead for Greedy. You actually take a look at these net worths, and it seems like everyone's kind of got a pair, or at least at the top. We've got the Terrorblade and Animage pretty much dead even. The Death Prophet and the Nature's Prophet pretty much dead even. Then there becomes a little bit of a gap. between the Puck and the Tidehunter, but then you've got the two supports on Digital Chaos on Infamous well ahead of the two supports on Digital Chaos.
Dire's structures are fortified.
As House going to get engaged on, he's going to go down. This is huge. He doesn't have buyback. Digital Chaos, oh my goodness. No buyback available. Who else has buyback? Please tell me there's other heroes. We've got Tidehunter with a buyback, but he's it. He's the only hero on Digital Chaos that has buyback available, and now they've lost their top racks. We've got Infamous moving towards the mid-tier 2. That's going to go down. Now are they going to stick around for the tier 3s? Still 25 seconds before the Death Prophet, and you have to have expected the Death Prophet to buy back immediately if buyback's available. So they know it's not available, so now they're going to try and push their luck here, try to keep pressure on the tower. They do know that Ravage is back up, though. So 10 seconds before the Death Prophet. When will Bulba choose to engage? He won't be able to, because Infamous, they get the... Well, interesting play there by Bulba. As it looked like they had that kill on the Ogre, but he went for the Ravage there. Either way, the tier 3 goes down, and I really think that was a wasted Ravage. Maybe I missed something there, or maybe they thought there was more heroes in behind that Ogre, but I don't know. Was he TPing maybe? No, it's not on cooldown. I don't know, it seems like a little bit of a wasted Ravage there, and that... I don't know, Ravage is so important for Digital Chaos here. That could be a very, very big mistake by Bulba, but Digital Chaos are going to try to go for Roche here. And with Infamous, their Ogre just respawns. They're going to come back in, and they're going to look to fight here. As the Exorcism doing a lot of damage, but the Death Prophet going to go down as Kataro is going to get the kill there. Buryu did the swap to try and help out, but he's then going to go down to Kataro. At Digital Chaos, they're struggling. They're struggling so hard. Their Dota 2 Canada Cup hopes could be on the line here as Infamous are taking this fight, and GG will get called as Digital Chaos, another one of the favorites for the Dota 2 Canada Cup, get eliminated. We've already said goodbye to Archon. Now we say goodbye to Digital Chaos. As Infamous, there was recently an article, an interview on Gosu Gamers about Infamous, and talking about how they've moved into a gaming house, and they're starting to look very, very good, and they're starting to really come together as a team and starting to basically make a real big push towards being a professional team and being able to compete on that international level. And man, they're looking good so far as they knocked out Digital Chaos here. Wow. We've got a couple big kind of favorites in this tournament being Archon, Digital Chaos, Complexity. Of course, those were the top 3 for the Shanghai Major. Of course, Digital Chaos kind of losing out on that and not making it into the Shanghai Major. But we've lost Archon in the first round. Digital Chaos got knocked down to the losers bracket in the first round. They made it a little bit further. They made it to round 3, but now we say goodbye to them. And yeah, we've got Complexity left. They're going to be most likely in our next series, which I'll actually have to refresh my schedule here. I had it open. I didn't even refresh the schedule, so I don't even know anything about the next game time because I didn't want to spoil anything. But yeah, it looks like our next game will be Elite Wolves playing up against Complexity in the winners bracket finals. So we do have that other favorite, and I say that with quotations, in Complexity, still alive in the tournament. But it's Complexity, Elite Wolves, and Infamous are our 3 remaining teams. Of course, the loser of Elite Wolves and Complexity will drop down to the losers bracket finals, which will be played tentatively on the 5th. Where they'll play up against Infamous, and then the winner of that, of course, will move on to our best of 5 grand finals, which tentatively is set for the 7th, but we expect maybe both those times will switch. But we know our next cast is going to be on February the 4th at 7:30, so don't miss that. Complexity versus Elite Wolves, winners bracket finals. Winner goes on to the grand finals and has a shot at that $40,000, I believe, $40,000 prize pool, which is a gigantic prize pool for teams of this level. Not maybe the biggest for Complexity in terms of some of the tournaments that they compete in, but impressive nonetheless. But guys, that's going to be it for this game. Once again, thanks so much for joining me. It was a lot of fun casting through the replay, even though we missed that game. But yeah, we'll look to see you again on the 4th at 7:30 for that best of 3. Once again, guys, I was Niz. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for enjoying the games with me. We had a great one to finish off the night, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, have a good one. We'll see you again on the 4th.